We ended up with so much of our meeting not recorded. Remember that, Tammy? Got Susie. There's Christy. She must be on by the telephone. Telefono. My son is taking Spanish 1 this year, and so he comes into my office and he tells me, like when I'm trying to work, okay, Mom, I need to converse in Spanish. Speak to me. Susie, you'd get a kick out of that one. It's the most broken Spanish you've ever heard, and his pronunciations are awful, but it's cute, you know.
I know Summer's taking Spanish too, and I'm sure I'll start hearing conversations soon.
Yeah, or attempts at it, right?
Or yeah.
Attempts. All right, so I think what I might do is I'm going to go ahead in the interest of time. Yeah, go ahead and get it started. I have 8:01, so I will be prompt on that because we do have some information I want to go through and I want to leave time for questions at the end. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody just to, let me see if I can remember how to mute everybody. Manage participants, I think that's what I want to do. Mute all. All right, so I'm sorry to take you away from your microphones, but you may appreciate it later on. I'll open you back up in a little bit, but I do want to go ahead and get going. So thank you very much, everybody, for embarking, hey, Ms. Linda, embarking on this journey with me and the rest of the directors on here. Some of you have been directors before. Some of you are aspiring to be directors. Some of you just want to build a stronger business. So I don't want anybody being scared by the term director if it gets thrown around in here. But the truth is that is the next step in the career plan with Pampered Chef and the next level of income for you. And your director team and I want that for you because we have all been where you are. We've been with the consultant level paychecks. And it's much more fun at the director level paychecks. You really kind of don't want to lose that. So we are working hard for you and we are partnering with you. So though we have several different directors on here and I'm really facilitating this, you will be working one-on-one with coaching with your personal upline. Okay, we're just kind of doing this as a group because it's much more fun as a group to share responsibilities and see extra faces and have much more information to pull from because we are a variety of directors here with a variety of backgrounds and life situations going on at the moment. So that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen so you can get to, here we go, get to my PowerPoint. So what I have done is I have kind of labeled it Fast Track to Success. It sounds less intimidating. It's kind of the same thing because that's what it is. And Fast Track just means we're trying to do it in 90 days. Pampered Chef has something called a Fast Track to Director program, which means you promote yourself up to director level in 90 days. And so this is really kind of the same thing because I don't want anybody feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure if you don't make it to director by the end of 90 days. But we will celebrate those who do. We will celebrate you where you're at as well. So success looks great on you. We're going to help you enjoy special perks and recognition when you promote to that level, whatever that looks like for you, you know. So you're invited to participate because your director sees potential in you. So you might as well take a chance on what this might actually become because life's too short not to. Let's just face it, right? And time is flying. It's already September 1st. I'm going to go ahead and say it because we got one more, well, sort of 2 more sleeps until it's really officially September. But life's short. So let's reach out there and as some of you have heard me say before, let's step out of a comfort zone and call it a courage zone and go for what you really want. So for this first class, this is kind of the get the more you're looking for. We're going to spend the next 90 days working closely together to help you reach those goals, okay? And each one of these classes, we'll be doing, we'll go to a week. Next week, we'll do 1 week from now, and then we'll go to every other week, okay? But there are some responsibilities in here. So this first week, we're going to we're going to help you explore your why. We kind of touched a little bit on this with our last team training that we did together. On the 21st, because that's the thing that's going to get you sitting in the seat when you don't feel like it. When you would rather be out there with your kids or out there socializing or out there doing something else, that's what's going to draw you back to make you get on the phone and make you do some of these things that you know you need to do to build a more successful business, okay? So we're going to tell you a little bit about what it takes to be a director in a strong Pampered Chef consultant, and then we'll support you when you decide whether directorship is for you or not. Okay? So why would you want to be a director? Why would you want to move up to the next level of Pampered Chef, right? Some of the more obvious reasons is to make money. Actually, I think I want to unmute you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. See if it'll let me do this for this, because I want to hear. Shoot. Now that, oh, here we go. Manage participants. Darn it, wasting time. Unmute all. Okay, I want someone to tell me oops, my list. What on this list, hello, here we go. What on this list appeals to you? Why would you, what here would make you want to go through the Wednesday night calls with us?
All of it.
Great.
I like the monthly overrides.
Very good. Very good. Because I don't know if you guys realize just how much those monthly overrides matter. I know Christy can attest to this, that it more than doubles my paycheck. I just want to say that, all right? More than double. That's worth it, all right?
What are the monthly overrides?
Mm-hmm.
What are they? The monthly overrides, what are they?
That's, well, kind of what you see right here. 10% activity bonus for each active consultant. So any consultant that, you know, goes green, you're going to get $10 for it. So if you have a team of 5 people, that's an extra $50. Just because they are. And then you get extra percentages on what they sell. So we know that as a Pampered Chef consultant, you start at 20%. And at the advanced director level, which is what Christy and I are at, you can go up to 31%. So rather than start at 20, you know what I'm saying, and finish at 20, you can go all the way up to 31%. And that's your overrides that you make on your team, which we'll go in more detail a little further on. But free product samples, hello, we just got a bunch of free products delivered to our door. That was pretty cool. So you really get the opportunity to get products 3 times, okay? You can get 3 sets of new products. You can get it for free as a director. You can get it for free with your sales as a consultant, and then you can get them at 50% off as a sample order. So you can really rack up. If you're in this for the product, that's a great way that you can do that, okay? Reduced points for trips, that's one of my favorites. Someone asked me recently, how on earth have I managed to stick in this business for 20 years almost? I gotta tell you, trips carried me through some of my roughest times. They truly did. So, and to know that I can get there faster as a director, I'm on board with that. Of course, we're going to recognize the snot out of you. Yes, I said that. When you promote, so that's some pretty special recognition, extra training opportunities, and then professional development award every year. That's something you can use to develop yourself to be a better leader. You know, you can go to a success seminar. You can take a computer skills class. Heck, maybe I can take a class on Canva, right? You can take whatever kind of classes will help you towards your business. They do have a little bit of a restriction, but they have a list of them for us, so pretty good stuff. And then here's some nice pictures of all the things that you can get. Again, any of this surprise anybody? You know, like any of this, you say, wow, I did not realize that. Up here is a little bit on those overrides on what you get. Career title necklace. Who doesn't love free jewelry? That's helping you advertise your business out there, right? Bonuses, Pampered Chef dollars, product samples, on and on and on, right? Okay, I'll go ahead and mute everybody again and go back to here. Okay, again, we talk about why you want to be one, and this is something that the director team we've talked about many times, and it's just, I go back to it over and over again with Zig Ziglar. You can really have everything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. It's never been more true. The unfortunate thing is we can't want it for you more than you can. And that's disappointing, because believe me, we do. We really want it more for you because we know what it's done for us. So we're going to help you help others succeed and build a stronger team and help those other people reach your goals, which is why we're doing this, because we want to help you reach your goals. Okay. So here we go. This way to the fun. Who wants to ride the fun bus, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have some fun and make our way. Now, some of you on here are brand spanking new. I know, Julie, you are brand new. So we talked a little bit about Fast Track to Director. You could actually get, this is better than the override, sister. You can get up to $2,000 in cash. I don't know how much you've really digested what this means, okay? Plus, you'll get some increased commission checks, recruiting bonuses, and more that we've kind of touched on. So if you bring in 5 people, and collectively you do $5,000 in sales. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in detail too. Within your first 90 days, you will get $500 cash right there in your hand, in your pocket. Keep it. When you maintain that for the next 3 months, so don't just get it and say, yay, I'm done, it's over, and lose it. You'll get another $500, right? So now you're at $1,000 in 6 months. This is on top of your commission. This is on top of any other bonuses the company might happen to have out, okay? This is on top of any free products that you might earn because we get sales promotions every single month. And then if one of those people on your team also becomes a director within those first 6 months, you'll get another $1,000. So that is $2,000 in cash. I gotta say, if they had offered this carrot when I was a brand new consultant, I probably would have jumped on it. But they didn't, so it took me 2 years to promote to director. And there's some other reasons that I'll touch on a little bit later too. But this is money on the table. You know, we hate to see there's so much money that gets left on the table in Pampered Chef because we let life get a hold of us and we don't hold on to that why. And so we leave that money out there. And we're here to help you not do that. Okay? So we're going to talk some more here. Show me the money, right? So you can give yourself a raise just by adding one person to your team. If you add just one, that's all you got to do. Now, Susie, I know you're on here and you just added a person to your team. You give yourself a 6.3% raise just by adding one person. That's pretty cool. Now, those of you who work another job out there, what kind of percentage of a raise do you get and how often do you get it? Right, Julie? I see you shaking your head. It ain't happening. I remember when I was out there in another job, I was lucky to get, I usually got 8 to 10%, but only once a year. And I had to go through this really stressful sweat beads on my forehead, conversation with my boss. Add 2 people and it goes up to 14.5%. Promote to director, okay, that's 5 people, 48% raise. That's pretty darn sweet, right? Remember I said my paycheck pretty much doubles? Average raise in America is only 3 to 4%. Now, we believe you guys are all well above average. So that's why you're getting even more than that. So you can get your 6.3% raise just by adding one. You're already doubled what everybody else out in America is getting, okay? So this is a copy of a paycheck down here that my good friend Charlotte Nagai. This was one of her paychecks in 2013. Her paycheck was $882, and that was as a consultant. And then 3 years later, she's an executive director, and she has a $3,459. Actually, I don't think she's an executive yet. I don't think she was quite an executive yet. I think she was a senior director. $3,400. Does that sound appealing to anybody? Yeah, you read that. $3,400. All right. So here's her 5-year trend of average base pay. Okay. Source was Mercer Compensation Planning Survey. So the average person goes up not even 3%. That's just sad. Pampered Chef believes better than that. All right. So leadership is joining us at the table. Here you go as a senior consultant. So if you're Pat, or I should say, I guess you're Jen, and you're selling $2,400 in a month, and you sign Pat, okay, you make an extra 1% on Pat sales. So if Pat sold $1,100, you're making 1% of $1,100, which is $110. Plus you're making 1% on your $2,400. So that's really $3,500. That's the override of $35 that they're showing you right here, okay? So you make an extra 1% on your sales plus your recruit sales, okay? So if your standard commission was $552, it went up to $587. It's a 6.3% raise, okay? Plus, you will get 30 Pampered Chef dollars for every new consultant you recruit when they sell $1,250 within their first 90 days. Pampered Chef dollars, what does that equal? Free catalogs, free product, free recruiting brochures, all those things, conference registrations, things like that, right? So I would recommend, and this was, there was a document I put up for you all to download. This is in there, okay? If you look in the group and file section, all this is in there, okay? You're going to find this information there. I recommend you print it off and put in your target date for promotion. To senior consultant, I would say I would do that within the next 2 weeks because, you know, September 1st is coming. With that new catalog, we can all recruit someone in the next 2 weeks, right? Oops. As a team leader, that means you recruit 2 people. So Jen, if you're Jen, you've recruited Pat and you've recruited Chris. Now, you see this? You make an extra 2% on yourself plus them, okay? So now, you're not selling any more than you were. Pat's not selling more than she was. And Chris is selling, say, only $500. Okay, now you're making $632 versus your original $552 because you got 2 people in there, right? Very, very cool. So you double the override. You receive a 30% discount on products, so your product discount went up 10%. Receive help growing your team, develop your leadership skills, and access exclusive leadership resources and training. Okay? I know I'm talking fast, but you can go by. I will post all this as well, but it is in there, and I'm going to post the, I'll upload this to the video to YouTube. So as a director, let's go another step further. As a director, it takes 5 people, okay? So you earn higher overrides on more people from sales of your personal team and your first generation. So anybody you sign up is what we consider your first generation or your kids, right? That's your generation, 1 level generation in there. Get a 10% bonus every month for each active consultant, senior consultant, and team leader on your personal team. Receive 250 Pampered Chef dollars when you promote. That's just bingo right there. Again, what is that? Catalogs, cookbooks, free hostess gifts, you know, that you can get on the supply order, or just regular products, or conference registration, right? Enjoy special privileges. There are lots of privileges. We just showed you that nice little collage of privileges for the directors. Free product samples. Bingo. Gotta love that. Now, if you become an elite seller, you earn an additional 2% on your personal commissionable sales. What that means, I think an elite seller is someone who averages $72,000 a year, or for a rolling 12-month period, which means you're selling roughly $6,000 a month. So you don't have to recruit anybody. You can become a director and get director status just by selling $6,000 a month. So if that is the route you would rather take, you'll still get all these benefits, okay? So what I like to point out here is that you don't have to be the only one recruiting, okay? So as you see this, if some of your people that you sign also sign people, you still become a director, okay? Other ways to have 5 actives, you can do them all yourself, or you can do 3, and each one of those do 1. However you get 5 underneath you, it doesn't matter, okay? I just might warn you, though, when you see this, and these people start signing up other people, it's possible that they will pop out as a director because they're getting the ball rolling, and so you need to still continue to add people to your team, okay? I've seen that kind of thing happen as well. Look at this. Jen builds her team 118% more than minimum director earnings. That's incredible. I want to be that top 118%. Woo! And then you can just keep moving up, okay? Christy and I are an advanced director to senior director. We both have aspirations of being a senior director by Christmas. And then hopefully up past that. Yeah, look at her grinning. Yes, we do. I know you, girl. And why do you want to do that? As an upper level director, you get invited to way more things, and which gets us more information for you guys. We get put in an elite group that gives us more things for you guys. We get more visits from home office. We get more access to training from home office to give you better material, okay? Not to mention, we network with some of the biggest rock stars out there and can bring trainings to you like what we did with Mary Haynes. And I've got some others that we're going to line up and do later on as well. So it just really helps us do that. And what we need, as you look at this, and it's kind of like when a new person says, oh, so what's my monthly minimum? I always cringe when they ask that because I don't want anybody working to a minimum. And the biggest reason is it's stressful. Okay, it's stressful for you to work to a minimum. If that's where your goal is and you hit a little below that goal, well, then you don't make it at all. But if you hit your goal at higher than well above minimum, well, then you got a safety net. And believe me, that last night of the month is not near as sweat pouring stressful as it could be. Okay, so advanced director, we only have to sell 750. So the month that Christy Hendricks had her baby and Sydney Krause had their baby, that sure was a welcome minimum. 5,000 personal team sales, first generation director, and then 12,000 monthly organizational sales. I'll say I've been an advanced director for 10 years now. I've never not made that. So you just kind of got to keep moving forward and look for it. So don't stress that it's, you're not going to make it. You just always want to keep moving forward. Don't stop when you hit one particular thing. Senior director, pretty much the same thing, except we need 3 first generation directors and at least 1 second generation director. Okay. And 24,000 monthly organizational sales. I got to say my organization, we're, I don't know, about 44,000 right now. So all I need is a couple more personal directors and we're in, the sales typically come. So, and you can see here the annual income. The average advanced director makes 29,000. Senior director is roughly 53,000. Executive director, 78,000. Senior executive director, 100,000. 6 figures. Hello. Thank you. National executive director, 213,000. I'll take any of those, right? That's pretty good for working for yourself for a couple days, couple nights a week, right? So let's show you some of the other things just so you can always look ahead and see what this actually means, because you may hear these terms thrown around, and just so you know what they mean. As an executive level director, you're going to earn quite a bit more money. You receive earnings all the way down to your 3rd generation, okay? So right now, as an advanced director or even a senior director, we make money on our 1st generation and our 2nd generation, okay? When you hit the executive director, they add in that 3rd generation, which may not seem like much, but it is. I think we make 0.5% on the 3rd generation, but they give us a car allowance. Let me see here. I've got word on it somewhere here. I thought it was in here. Well, maybe it's just this right here. Earn eligibility for a monthly car allowance up to $900. At executive level, it's $500. Senior executive at $700, national executive is $900. I think I can get whatever car I want for $500, $700, $900, for $500. Heck, my car payment's less than that, right? Maybe yours is too. And let's say you already own a car. Well, then that's just extra cash in your pocket. Yes, that's pretty darn cool, right? Okay, so we'll squeeze past that. But here they just tell you also how many directors you need. So executive, you need 6 and 2. Senior exec, 9, 5, and then 1 3rd gen. National exec, 12, 9, and 3. So when you see people popping up and hitting all those, that's what's going on, okay? So imagine today that you're the director of a team with average monthly sales of $10,000, right? Sounds huge, I know, because you're only thinking of what you can possibly sell in yourself. What would your 3% monthly override be? Ooh, I should unmute you. I want some words. Yee. Unmute all. Okay. Someone help me with that calculation. What's 3% of $10,000?
300.
Very good. And remember, that's only the override income, right? It doesn't include the income from your personal sales or the activity bonuses. So now imagine you begin working with those in your team who want more, those who want to promote to director, or even just have a stronger business. If you're only selling $1,200 right now and you want to sell $3,000, that's also what this is going to help you do. Right? Your consultants who want more to begin to recruit, so your team grows. Sounds good, right? Right? Okay. So here's a question for you. While your consultants are recruiting, what should you be doing?
Recruiting.
That's right.
Recruiting as well.
You should also be recruiting. So you recruit side by side with them. You should match their efforts, right? That way your personal team grows side by side with their new team. Make sense? Right? Mm-hmm. Now, your future leader has 5 new consultants on their team who are selling a minimum of $5,000. They promote to their own director level team. Woo! Right? Because you've been building your team side by side with them, your base team sales will stay the same when their team promotes. So now your personal team is selling $10,000 and the new team is selling $5,000. So remember when I talked a little bit earlier about when those people below you are recruiting as well, and some of them could promote out, you don't want to end up losing your director level, okay? So that's important what's what's going on here. So that's
Yeah, okay.
15,000 in organizational sales. Sorry. 15,000 organizational sales at 4%, not 3%, because you're now an advanced director, for a total of $600 override. All right, you've just doubled your income by promoting a director underneath it. You hear that? That's the whole point of all this, okay? So now imagine there's just one new director, but 2 or 3 more. Not just one, but 2 or 3 more. How fast could your income grow, right? That's why you want to continue to move up the career plan, okay? That's what this is all about. It just kind of just grows and multiplies. There's a formula for that. My mind is not in it at the moment to remember that word, but it's there. Okay, so what's your why? Oh, this is where I wanted people. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to spend all night muting and unmuting. Somebody tell me your why. Let's get a few of those.
Me time.
Ooh, I like that one. What else?
Extra money.
Yeah, financial stability.
That's a good one. I don't think you could ever not, you know what I mean? You think you could ever have enough money?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
Right?
you always want more.
Right?
I don't think you can. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like it's not echoing back like everyone else's, so I just
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Sorry. Anybody else?
More time with my family.
Spend more time with your family? I like that. Very
Meet new
good.
people.
Meet new people. I've got a friend on Facebook right now who's got a 5-month-old baby and is pregnant with another one. And she keeps posting how, you know, she just wants to go out and be with adults and she wants me time and all these things that I know you moms understand, especially you, Julie. That's half of what you've got there. You know, you've got a couple other kids on it as well as that statistic. And, you know, I keep trying to talk to her a little bit about Pampered Chef, and she just so into her little shell, she can't see that that's what she needs.
Mm-hmm.
And it really can solve a lot of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's your why. All right, director requirements. We talked a lot about this. I know I keep harping on it. 5 people. I just want you to be able to understand it. $750 in personal sales. And you know what? This number here, does this look familiar to anybody for anything? What does that echo? Susie, you might recognize this. Cindy, I know you would too. $750 in personal sales.
Free stuff.
Free stuff?
It's the next level in pay raise.
Yeah, it's your first level in pay raise. That's exactly right. And something else that they do pretty much every month for us. Typically, that's the minimum. If you sell $750, you get the consultant sales bonus for the month. You know? Like last month, it was the pink whipped cream maker. You know, so that's usually what they do, okay? So that's an important number to remember. 5,000 in team sales, that is you plus your team. And I will say that in the beginning, you should be doing majority of that 5,000 yourself because you're still teaching people to sell, okay? And then again, there's that new stress. Yeah?
Is the month based on when you started, or is it a specific day tracker within Pampered Chef?
Well, that's a great question. Calendar month.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're about to finish. So that 750 you would need to submit by the end of tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, that's a great question. So our goal is to be a senior director team, and almost nothing worth accomplishing can be done alone. See this? We have to be together. So we are definitely partnering with you on this. Okay, so here we go. Here's how we're going to work this. 90 days to director formula for success. Okay. And this is in that document for you to download and go by. 8 parties booked, okay? And we're going to go through all these key skills throughout this program, okay? So the first one we're going to start next week is booking and prospecting, okay? So here you go, 8 parties booked. We want to have, this is one of your requirements, is that you need to have 8 parties booked in this program, and here's why. Because you're going to lose 2 of them. There is a 20% cancellation reschedule rate. It's going to happen, which means you're only going to hold 6 parties, okay? Your key skill at that point is going to be host coaching. Say you have 10 guests at each party, that's going to put you in front of 60 people, okay? About a third of those may take home information, right? So that means 20 people, and this is out of the whole month, okay? About a third of those will agree to an opportunity chat, or to come to a recipe night, or to have a little phone call with you, or to come to a virtual opportunity event, okay? About a third of them are going to say yes, which leaves you with 2 people, okay? So that will leave you with 2 recruits a month. So if you're doing 6 parties with 10 guests, so that's what we need to do. When we get those parties, we want to have 10 people there. And these are all the skills, all these listed here in red are all the skills that we're going to teach you, so that this is what you'll be doing every single month. If you look at your director team, the majority of them do this because this is why we know this formula, okay? So 2 person recruits a month times 3 months equals 6 person recruits. Divided by 3 equals 2 indirect recruits. Look at here. You have a director, right? 6 person recruits. And then we say a third of those will each sign one. So at the end of it, you should have at least 8 people on your team. Pretty cool, huh? In 90 days, that equals director. That equals money. Okay. So how are we going to support you? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to cover these topics that we just kind of so-called went over on that, prospecting and booking away from the show. Then we're going to teach you about booking at the shows, which also means your virtual parties, because some of you may be 90% virtual, maybe 100% virtual, maybe all kitchen show. We're going to do both, okay? Booking at your show, whether it's live or virtual. We're going to talk about host coaching, okay? Because once you get those shows, you got to coach them to be able to get something out of them. All right. Informing and inviting. This is all about bringing in new people. We're going to talk about how to have an opportunity chat, what to do if you're going to do that. Some of that may be done 3 ways. Some of that may be done by yourself, but we're going to go through that on call number 5. And then we're going to go through New Consultant Strong Start. Now, all along the way, these new consultants that you're bringing in, so if you bring them in week 1 and 2, we're still going to be doing these alongside you, but we're going to show you how to do them, okay? So we are literally supporting you and holding your hand all the way through all this, okay? So here you go. You want to print these off and fill these out, okay? I recommend you print them off, put some holes in them, put them in a binder, put your name in here and what your first person's name is, okay? What you can do is you can put them in pencil here. The ones that are on your list, I know that a lot of times we take us do your launch list and then put like a heart or star next to the people that you think would be good for Pampered Chef or you think could benefit from Pampered Chef, okay? And that's how you want to work on that. And then print this off here too, because tracking is important. There are a lot of things that you could miss in this business if you just don't track it. Like you could miss extra overrides and extra commission. If you end up, because our commission structure, as some of you who are brand new may not know this, I'll go through it. At $750, you get your first raise. So when you start at 20%, at $750, you go up to, what is this, at 22 or 23? I always have to double check on this one. I'll probably get it printed on my wall somewhere.
22.
22%. And then when you sell $1250, you go up to 23%. This is within that calendar month, okay, like we were talking earlier, Julie. If you go to 2,500, then you go up to 24. If you sell 4,000 a month, you go up to 25%. So that's why you'll find a lot of directors try to really hit the 4,000 because I want to cap out. I want to maximize my earning potential for the month. So I've always tried to hit that 4,000. And if not, then I want to make sure I stay within close range. So if I end up with a $3,800 month, like right now I'm sitting at 3,800. So I'm going to make sure I try to close out more to get myself to at least the 4,000, okay? So that's what you want to do. But if you don't track it, how do you know where you're going to be? And here's how we're going to know, because as we start tracking our party attendance, we're going to say, well, now I know why I'm not recruiting, or now I know why I'm not getting enough bookings because I'm not in front of enough people. Well, I guess I better step up my host coaching, right? So here's how we can track just what we're doing, and this is we're going to hold you accountable. That's part of our support system for you is we're going to hold you accountable for this, okay? And we're going to do it for 3 months, okay? Months 1, 2, and 3. Because teamwork makes the dream work, right? I know you guys have all heard that, right? And with more helping hands, that's just what we're all about. But to start with all that, I know we've done some of this training in the past. It may be new to some of you newer people, but your beliefs, okay? This is your belief triangle and the belief system here. I don't know if you can see this in your way. You start with your beliefs. Your beliefs determine what?
Your actions.
That's right. And your actions determine,
Results.
and your results reinforce your
Beliefs.
belief. Exactly. Okay? So you really have to think about your belief. Now, well, let me start with this real quick. Your beliefs. I know that recently I did this at, I think, Christy's training. I think I did, didn't I, Christy? I think I went over this recently. Because your belief could be your belief in your company. It's belief in your product. It's belief in the host program. It's belief in the new opportunity event, for new consultants. Do you believe in our kid? Do you believe that we have a great opportunity out there? Do you believe that we have a better opportunity than some of the other direct sell programs out there? And here's the biggest one is your belief in yourself. Because if you can't, and this is why we keep talking about that why, if you don't have a strong belief in yourself, what kind of actions are you going to have? What kind of actions are you going to do? Are you going to get on the phone? Are you going to make these trainings? Are you going to work to schedule more parties from the parties you have? Are you going to do your homework? Right? Are you going to make the decision